US President Trump wanted Greenland by hook or by crook.
We need Greenland for national security, not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place.
But at the Davos summit, he toned down his pursuit of Greenland by force and agreed to what he called a framework for a future deal on Arctic security at the World Economic Forum in Davos. The question here is, if Trump wanted Greenland so desperately that he was even threatening 8 European nations with punitive tariffs, then who persuaded him to drop the idea? Well, reports say it was NATO chief Mark Rutte. Behind closed doors in Davos, Rutte appears to have played a key role in persuading Trump to reverse course. Soon after, Trump announced that he had agreed with Rutte on a framework for a future deal, effectively diffusing a crisis that could have had far-reaching global consequences. And Rutte has been clear about why the Arctic matters so much. He has openly backed Trump's concerns, saying that the Arctic must be defended as sea lanes open up and as China and Russia increase their presence in the region. Rutte pointed out that 7 of the 8 Arctic bordering nations are NATO members, with Russia as the only exception, while China is emerging as what he called a 9th Arctic actor. In his words, NATO leaders are right. The alliance must do more to protect the Arctic. At the same time, Rutte has stressed that tensions should be handled through thoughtful diplomacy. He has acknowledged the current friction but insisted that dialogue remains the only sustainable way forward. Rutte has also made it clear that Ukraine remains the top priority for both Europe and the United States, arguing that security in Europe and across the Atlantic depends on it. Issues like Greenland, he says, can be discussed, but only after Ukraine. Listen to what Rutte said while speaking at the WEF.
Many of you, I know, criticize Donald Trump. But do you really think that without Donald Trump, 8 big economies in Europe, including Spain and Italy and Belgium, Canada, by the way, also outside Europe, would have come to 2% in 2025 when they were only on 1.5% at the beginning of the year? No way. Without Donald Trump, this would never have happened. They're all on 2% now. Do you really think that in the summit in The Hague, as already Alex was saying, the president of Finland was saying, that we would come to an overall defense spending of 5%, including 3.5% in core defense, if President Trump would not have been re-elected as president of the United States? No way. It would never have happened. So again, I'm not popular with you now because I'm defending Donald Trump, but I really believe we can be happy that he is there because he has forced us in Europe to step up, to face the consequences, that we have to take care more of our own defense. And when it comes to the Arctic, I think President Trump is right. Other leaders in NATO are right. We need to defend the Arctic. We know that these sea lanes are opening up. We know that China and Russia are increasingly active in the Arctic. There are 8 countries bordering on the Arctic. 7 are a member of NATO. That's Finland and Sweden and Norway and Denmark, Iceland, Canada and the US. And there's only 1 country bordering on the Arctic outside NATO, and that's Russia. And I would argue there is a 9th country, which is China, which is increasingly active in the Arctic region. So President Trump and other leaders are right. We have to do more there. We have to protect the Arctic. Of course, I see that there are these tensions at the moment. There's no doubt. Again, I'm not going to comment on that. But I can assure you the only way to deal with that is, in the end, thoughtful diplomacy. This focus on Ukraine should be our #1 priority. And then we can discuss on all the issues, including Greenland. But it should be Ukraine first, because it is crucial for our European and US security.
While the details of the Arctic framework remain unclear for now, the pressure on Europe has eased. The NATO chief is also known as the Trump Whisperer, a name he earned last year after publicly flattering Trump, even referring to him as Daddy during a NATO summit, and sending him glowing private messages that Trump later shared on social media.
I mean, we may do papers on it, Marco. Maybe we're going to do papers. I don't even know if you need them. They're not going to be fighting each other. They've had it. They've had a big fight, like 2 kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes, then it's easy to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language to
You have
get
to
us
use
off.
strong language. Every once in a while, you have to use a certain word.
I think we have to join the others.
According to experts, Rutte has a rare ability to keep the US engaged in NATO, using charm, flattery, and strategic discretion to navigate Trump's unpredictable style. This approach is not accidental. Rutte honed these skills during nearly 13 years as Dutch Prime Minister, where he survived scandal after scandal, earning another nickname at home, Teflon Mark. Although tensions over Greenland and tariffs on Europe may have eased, Trump is known for changing his stance. The bigger question now is whether this agreement will last or prove to be just a temporary pause. Greenland may be off the table for now, but another front, tariffs, trade, or security could quickly open up. With Trump, nothing is ever truly settled. With Harsh, Bureau Report, India Today Global.